Cool. Yeah, some really good shape actually. Tempo's great. What I'd like to do is, we probably need to do this with an edit as well, Murph. Can we double up that, add an extra 8 bar to the end chorus? So basically we go twice around with the vocals and we do an instrumental version of the chorus before we go to the 4 bar play out at the end.
Okay.
I just think there's scope to do to really kind of, because I'd like the end choruses to really to be a real step up from the earlier choruses.
Okay.
Which I...
So the instrumental first and then the vocals?
No. So basically do the double chorus and then we go out instrumentally for 8 bars and then go into the 4 bar play out. Because I think there's maybe some melody stuff that we could actually carry through.
Okay.
Because I've got an idea of maybe doubling up the vocal with some like something else playing the same melody that goes through the end section. So we get a big euphoric kind of 8 bar play out section at the end.
Awesome.
And so could you hold back the ride until, obviously do the hits in the verses and stuff, but hold it back until the end chorus. So in the first 2 choruses, you play the hi-hats like you do in the intro section.
Right, okay,
You can open them up a little bit and we'll, because I'd like the idea of like the hats and having some sort of electronic percussion thing going as well. So we get like a stereo hats and another high-end thing against each other for those early choruses. And by the time we go to the end choruses, the whole thing steps up, even to the point where we add some extra kick drums and stuff at the end. So you really feel, because I think there's some issue about how to get from that middle section into the end part of the song. So I think if we can build through that, so when we hit the end chorus, it steps up another level. So it's just, it's just, there's just more dynamic in the middle, really. Is that all right if you just try hats in those, because it's nice where you go to the hat in the second verse. But what I'm thinking maybe we should do is, when we track the drums, actually do the second verse hat separately and go for like a totally different. So it's like the parts are the same, but we subtly change out some of the sonics. So it becomes this really kind of, the drum track on its own becomes this kind of event before you put anything else on it. Because rhythmically it's really interesting, rather than just like, here's the drums at the start, here's the drums at the end. It gradually morphs its way through the track till by the end it's like,
Awesome.
So it starts off real dry, and by the end chorus you've got lots of room mics in, and it's kind of
Do you want me to keep it straight for the choruses?
No, play the same parts you do, and still do those ride hits at the end of the verses, but maybe we'll do them on some sort of other crash ride thing, so they really it explodes.
Cool.
And the other thing I was thinking was in the choruses maybe adding like some micro synth to the bass.
Right.
So so the verse has got that really dry kind of like de-eyed kind of fronted up thing. In the choruses, maybe get some micro synth as well as the bass. So it's kind of like it goes to this kind of really squelchy, sort of almost like synth bass, but keying off the bass guitar kind of thing. Guitar-wise, I think we just got to try some things out. I like the guitar in the choruses because it just gives us that extra lift in the chorus. Bigger choruses, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But I think what we should do is try and do like a stereo guitar part for the chorus, so we get the sense of it opening out, but without just double track guitars. Try to do something different with it. Maybe try a stereo thing with stereo delay thing on the guitar, and then get a little funk part that sits up the middle with the drums. I think we'll just try some stuff out and see what you like, really. Do you have any thoughts on things you want me to look at on the track, or you'd like to address that you're unhappy with?
I'm sure, I mean, it's the midway is the main thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's the feels like when it drops back into the chorus, it feels like it doesn't really work, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you try that thing with the drums, then that should solve that.
Because I had an idea of where it goes to the breakdown with the synth on its own. We just do a little bit of a sort of filtered loop, so find some really sort of crunchy little, maybe just get you to play some loop stuff, and then we'll chain it up through a lot of plugins, and then it sort of gradually filters up. And without, I don't want it to sound too much like break it down, and sort of, sort of cliche DJ breakdown, subs on, subs off kind of thing. But I think we can do something quite cool in there that will I think middle eights are often like neglected parts of the song. I think we could do something really cool with them so it really feels like when you get to the end of it, it's become this little event in itself, the whole middle eight section. And you hit the end chorus, and then we step the drums up there, and we step all the sonics up, and maybe at that point we bring in some, maybe some interpoly sort of guitars doing some, we'll just try. As long as the sonics in the end chorus feel like the song's really developed from the first two choruses rather than just being a cut and paste chorus kind of thing. I think we're in good shape. It just for once, the song's actually a little bit too short for me, because it's easy to make a song shorter, and I think
That's what we always try to do that anyway, don't we?
Hey?
I said we always have like a longer song.
Yeah.
And then always sort of.
That's good, but most bands don't have that discipline to do that. So we've just done a bit of pre-production with the band. It was actually pretty easy because the tempo of the song was already right, and the arrangement they had was really concise, so there wasn't a lot of chopping around of the song. Often I find especially with younger bands, is the songs tend to be a little bit too long and they need a little bit of trimming here and there. And just to make the songs a bit more concise and just to make the structure just flow better, really. But already the song was in really, really good shape. I've actually extended this song, which is rare. Usually it's the other way around. Usually I'm cutting sections out of songs. But I just felt they hadn't quite developed the ideas within the song enough. And I wanted the end chorus to really go to another level. And I felt just a double chorus wasn't enough to make it build it beyond where it was already. Because we've kept the tempo the same, we're going to use the original Logic files as our guides and then rebuild the song from there. Obviously after we've done the edit for the end section as well. So it's really pretty straightforward. I mean, they play well, and they've got a good idea of song structure. So it makes my life a lot easier, because a big part of producing can often be putting song arrangements together with the band and trying to find the optimum arrangements. There's lots of fine tuning to be done in the parts that they're playing, but we can look at those fine tunes when we get into the actual tracking. We all seem to have the same idea sonically, which is really encouraging, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's the pre-production process over, and now we're going to move into tracking. So to do that, we're going to move the drums into the live area, because I want to have the option of both dry and live drums. So that'll be the next part of the process.